Hello and welcome back to Law Storytime. I am Law and this is my story time. Today we're going to do something a little fun. We're going to play a guess the book by the ending game quiz. Let's see how it goes. So I think I figured this out. Ready? Bloop. There. Got it all figured out. So scroll to start the quiz. Keep scrolling. Is that the quiz? This is the quiz. After all, tomorrow is another day. Is the ending to which book? I'm gonna say Gone with the Wind. Got it. Gone with the Wind, if you guys don't know, takes place in the Revolutionary South. The actress whose name is Gone with the Wind actress Oscar Hattie McDaniel. So Hattie McDaniel actually won an Oscar for her portrayal in the movie Gone with the Wind, but at the time the Oscars weren't letting African Americans into the Oscars, so she couldn't get it. So there's a little Gone with the Wind trivia for you. Which book includes as its closing line, "I wish you all a long and happy life"? That sounds like The Lovely Bones. Got it right. I've never read that book. I have seen the movie. It's about a girl who helps solve her own murder from heaven or something. It's directed by Peter Jackson and stars Mark Wahlberg. Can you name the classic novel that ends with, "Might I trouble you then to be ready in half an hour, and we can stop at Marcini's for a little dinner along the way"? Marcini's. See, I was thinking Sherlock Holmes, but he Mordecai. What's his name? Machiavellian. Sherlock Holmes' enemy? Moriarty. I guess I'm kind of cheating by Googling that. I don't know this one. Should we get a hint? Let's get a hint. Sherlock Holmes. It was Sherlock Holmes. I'm giving myself that point 100%. I thought so before the hint. "God's in his heaven, all's right with the world," whispered Anne softly. Ends the book below. Well, Anne, I think this is a trick question. It's not. Anne of Green Gables said that. What is a gable? I don't know what a gable is. It's a roof. It's the end of a roof. It's this thing on the end of a roof. An eaves, if you will. It's where eavesdrops come from. That's where they used to stand and listen to people. Eavesdropping. Which novel turned into a film starring Renee Zellweger closed with this line, "An excellent year's progress"? That's Bridget Jones. I know it because I know who Renee Zellweger was, and I was alive in the 90s, and it was everywhere. Any ideas as to which famous book first published in 1937 ends with, "You are a very fine person, Mr. Baggins"? That's going to be Tolkien. Bilbo Baggins is in Tolkien. I'm sure. A funny story about The Hobbit. It is the worst book I have ever read. I don't care if you like it. I hated it. I thought it was so boring. I started it. I read, the 18 pages describing Gandalf's first visit to the Shire, or, newest visit or whatever. And I was like, why? Why are you telling me so much about this hole in the ground? And it doesn't get better. Then they go on a long walk. And he falls into a pit, finds a ring, and then he meets with a dragon. And, I don't know. It was really boring. I got through it finally. I reread it, went through, read it, and I was like, yep, that was terrible. But I really, really like the 70s animated film, The Hobbit. And apparently there's one of Lord of the Rings, which I'm not going to watch because they made that into a live action, and that was really good. You can have my bow and all that shit. The old man was dreaming about the lions. Is the ending of which classic? I'm assuming lions here. I was thinking it was like some sort of what do you call him? Dictator. So I was gonna go with that. That was what hit me first. I guess The Sound and the Fury would be that, but Old Man and Old Man at the Sea. I don't know if that's another trick one. I'm pretty sure it's not Nicholas Sparks. Crime and Punishment. I don't even know what that's about. Dostrovsky. So Faulkner or Hemingway? Let's go with Hemingway. Let's go Faulkner. It was Hemingway. Oh, it was not a trick question. Set in Japan, which novel has the ending paragraph which reads, "Whatever our struggles and triumphs, however we may suffer them, all too soon they bleed into a wash, just like watery ink on the paper." Whatever. Alright. Leading to the Wash sounds like a lighthouse. I'm going to go with To the Lighthouse. It was not Memories of Geisha. The Japanese probably should have got it because Virginia Woolf probably didn't write a lot of Japanese. Why is there curvy women in underwear being advertised to me? I am curvy, but I am not a woman. The line, "He loved Big Brother," completes what book? That would be 1984. I have read that book. I like that book. I like that book, and I really like Animal Farm. I like Animal Farm better than 1984. It is not often that someone comes along who is a true friend and a good writer. Charlotte was both. Ends this book. I'm going to go Charlotte's Web. It was Charlotte's Web. She was a good writer. She wrote with Webb's Great Pig, or Good Pig, Don't Kill Pig, 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 Pig. Which book does this last paragraph come from? I mean, I really do think that love is the best thing in the world, except for cough drops. But I also have to say, for the umpty-ump time, that life isn't fair. It's just fairer than death, that's all. I'm gonna go with Princess Bride, and I think it's the kid. Right, he's sick, and his grandpa's telling him the story. What is the Princess Bride? A swashbuckling tale. You killed my father. Prepare to die. The closing line for Sidali Walker: the need to understand his past, at least for the moment. All that was left was love and wonder, comes from which of these novels? I do not know at all. Don't even have a good guess. Sedalia Walker sounds American. All that was left was love and wonder. I'm going to say it's the Sister of the Pants. Oh, the Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. That was the pants one, right? The Yaya Pants? Traveling Yayas? What classic dystopian novel ends with, "And so farewell from your little Droog, and for all the story..." I know this one. This is Clockwork Orange. I have read that book. I've seen the movie. It's okay. Name the book that closes with this: "It is far, far better. It is a far, far better thing that I do than has ever been done. It is a far, far better rest that I go than I have ever known." I have heard this before, so I'm going to say Tale of Two Cities. I know the phrase, did not know it was from Tale of Two Cities. I think they made that into a play or something. It was a book, now it's a play. I also get Spanish ads, and I don't know why, because I don't speak Spanish or really participate in Spanish culture. Later on, he will understand how some men so loved her. that they did dare much for her sake. Closes which horror classic? Oh, how many? I don't think it's Dracula or Frankenstein. Absalom, Gravity's Rainbow. I'm gonna go Gravity's Rainbow. It was Dracula. Who's the her? I've never read Dracula. I did read Salem's Lot, which was inspired by Dracula. Can you tell us which book ends with but I don't think us feel old at all. But I don't think us feel old at all. And us so happy. Matter of fact, I think this is the youngest us ever felt. I'm going to say Color Purple. I think it was written to sound like uneducated Southern people in the old timies. It's published in 82, so that would make sense. It was just hard to read. That's why I guessed it. Also, a Hollywood blockbuster starring Heath Ledger. What novel ends? There were some open spaces between what he knew and what he tried to believe, but nothing could be done about it. And if you can't fix it, you gotta stand for it. Well, this is Brokeback Mountain. I've seen the movie, never read the book. I really like Jake Gyllenhaal, and I really liked Heath Ledger, so of course I saw the movie. The final line, "Oh my girls, however long you may live, I never can wish you a greater happiness than this," comes from which novel below? About girls. Let's say Little Women. There we go. Girls, women. This is how I take all my tests, just so you know. From the Land of Oz. Well, that's going to be The Wizard of Oz. There it is. It's right there. The Land of Oz. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Do you know which book ends with a last note from your narrator? I am haunted by humans. No, I don't. One with the narrator. Haunted by humans. I'm going to say Devil in Winter. Okay, The Book Thief. No clue. I was going to guess The Book Thief, or I wasn't. I was just thinking, who's not a human, haunted by humans? I went too literal with it. There was the hum of bees and the musky odor of pinks filled the air. Is the last line from which book? Odor of pinks. Well, there's two that have kind of Awaken in there, so I'm going to go with The Awakening. No clue. Just, I saw Awake twice. I figured it was one of those, and I just like the Awakening more. I carry a lot of scars. I like the way that sounds. I carry a lot of scars. This comes from which book that was turned into a film starring Leonardo DiCaprio? Can you name it? Leonardo DiCaprio. I didn't know he was in any of these movies. Oedipus the King? By Sophocles? I don't know. I'm going to go Candide Voltaire. The Beach. I know he was in that Romeo and Juliet movie. I thought it was going to be an old one. From which massively successful novel, the last in a series, does this line come? The scar had not pained Harry for 19 years. All is well. Well, it's going to be Harry Potter, right? Scar Harry. That's a good one. I should have looked at the hint. Can I look at the hint? I can't look at the hint anymore. I wanted to see what it said. Harry Potter. Name the horror that he was soon borne away by the waves and lost in the darkness and distance comes from. He was soon borne away by the waves. Let's say Frankenstein. I guess Frankenstein because it's the most famous of these books. That is the only reason why. He reached the top of the bank in a single powerful leap. Hazel followed, and together they slipped away, running easily through the wood where the first primroses were beginning to bloom. Which novel does this come from? Well, because he jumped, I'm gonna say Watership Down. I was thinking it was this book called by Max Berry called like Machine Man, where he it's a transhumanist. He systematically cuts off pieces of his body after he has an accident. He gets his hand trapped. They give him a robot arm, and he's like, "Man, this robot arm's cool. Wish I had 2 robot arms." So then he shoves his other hand into the machine and gets another robot arm. Eventually, he gets robot legs and shit, and he can jump real high. And then about halfway through, I thought I was onto something. I think it's 1984, where they escape in the woods at the end, but then they come back, right? That's 1984. They're like, we didn't like living alone. That was where I first thought that they had escaped into the woods. Is it 1984 where they have the keep them separated? I don't remember. Which novel, now a TV series, ends with, "Are there any questions?" I do not you which novel. I don't you which novel. I'm going to say Handmaid's Tale. It's a TV show. That should have given it away way easier than it did. Oh, Handmaid's Tale. It was a devious cruising, Rachel. That and her retracting search after her missing children, only to have found another orphan, is the closing of which classic novel featuring Captain Ahab? That is Moby Dick. Captain Ahab is based on a real person. Or the whale is based on a real whale. One of them. Yet another book with a Hollywood adaptation. Which novel features these words as it ends? I ran with the wind blowing in my face and a smile as wide as the valley of Panjshir on my lips. I ran. I'm going to guess the Kite Runner. Panjshir sounds Indian to me. Curly and Carlson looked after them, and Carlson said, "Now what the heck y'all suppose is eating them 2 guys? Can you tell us where this ending comes from?" I don't. I'm going to guess of Mice and Men. I have read Mice and Men. I really liked it. John Steinbeck? John Steinbeck. Last paragraph. And then while the pretty brunette girl finished singing her verse, he buzzed me through like I was someone who mattered. Comes from which of these below? I'm going to guess The Devil Wears Prada. Sounds like somebody who is trying to be important, and then they are, and I'm pretty sure that's what Devil Wears Prada is about, though I've never seen it or read the book. This is a movie that stars Tom Hanks as a jail warden. That's The Green Mile. Yeah, I think everybody knows that. That book, that was written in several series. It wasn't one just book. It was several series. I lost track of a while, happy to be home, weeping for my father, and thinking about what was next. Is the ending of a Pulitzer Prize winning novel? Can you name it? Oh. I thought this whole thing was the quote. I lost track after a while, happy to be home, weeping for my father, and thinking about what's next. I don't think it's Animal Farm. I'm going to guess Emma. Middlesex. I don't know what that is. The only one I know is Animal Farm. Valcourt is at peace with himself. Short and sweet. This is from the final line from which book? Valcourt. Let's go with Javoski. A Sunday at the Pool in Kilgalley. It's a book about AIDS, apparently. Rwanda genocide. I actually did not read that book about Rwandan genocide. It's outside my wheelhouse. Which classic ends with the knife came down, missing him by inches, and he took off? I'm going to say Catch-22. No. Yeah, let's say Catch-22. It was Catch-22. The reason I hesitated, I was thinking of Slaughterhouse-5. It's written all kinds of weird, out of order, so I thought that would make sense. Because that doesn't sound like an ending line. He turned away to give them time to pull themselves together and waited, allowing his eyes to rest on the trim cruiser in the distance. This comes from which novel involving children? Sounds like Lord of the Flies. They're on an island. They're looking at a boat. And that's it. Score of 80. 28 out of 35. I scored better than 72% of test takers. Average score 71. I am the best. I am the best. Thank you. That is a B. I will take it. And thank you for watching. And until next time, keep writing. Bye.